for a discussion on Nigeria's worsening electricity problems. We are joined now from our Lagos studios by Dr. Chukwe Loka Ume, a power expert and Group Chief Operating Officer at oil and gas company Nestoy Group. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. I mean, if it's not the Gencos blaming the discos, it's the TCN blaming the Gencos. The TCN has said that the current load shedding being experienced nationwide is as a result of very low power generation by the Gencos. What's your take on this? What are the issues here?
I think the issues span across the entire power sector. Starting from, speaking specifically about the Gencos that produce power with gas, it starts from gas generation to gas transport, all the way to the generation of electricity, transmission and distribution. The entire system is broken. And, there can be blame game across the entire sector. TCN is blaming Genco. Now, 5 or so years ago, what we were told is that there's enough generation in Nigeria and we need to focus only on distribution. Now we've left distribution and we're back talking about generation. So the entire sector is broken. Even if we generate, for example, 12,000 megawatts of electricity today, the TCN can't carry it. TCN can carry reliably only about 5,500 megawatts. So we need to address every single part of this sector. And the way to address it is not by government addressing it, it's by the private sector completely driving this. Otherwise, next year we're still going to be saying the same thing, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but it's in the hands of the private sector right now, except, of course, the TCN. What would you say, as an expert, what would you say the reasons for this incessant power outages? And is there an over-centralization of the grid system? Is that where it needs to start from? Do we need to unbundle the whole electricity value chain?
It's actually not completely in the hands of private sector. Think about this. We have about 25 IPPs, power plants, that are on grid today. 40% of those are still held, operated by the government. Now, of the discos that we have, of the 6 discos we have, the government owns 40% of each of the companies. So this is not in the hands of the private sector. Also, we have about 11,000 kilometers of gas pipelines in Nigeria today. Most of them is controlled by the government, okay? And the same thing in gas generation. Some private companies generate gas to sell, but largely, of all the gas we produce in this country now, only about 21% goes to, is used in Nigeria. Out of that 21%, part of it is used for petrochemicals and other things. A little part of it is now used for power generation. So the only way we can start to solve this problem, realistically, is we need to completely unbundle this. We don't need a system operator or a market operator. We don't need over-regulation of the industry. Let's create utilities. So if I come to Lagos State, for example, I should be able to generate power in Lagos and sell in Lagos. If myself as a person, my office is in Victoria Island, if I don't want to buy electricity from this particular supplier, I should be able to buy from another supplier. So we also need to have power traders, right, that can buy this commodity power from whoever and sell to different people at different prices. This is when we will start to see a change. We don't need to have TCN being this large body that is held by the government. I mean, if you go to TCN and try to get something done, it's usually very, very difficult. Now, there are some really good people working in some of these government bodies, TCN, NERC, NBET, and so on and so forth, the system operator, market operator. These people should really be working in private sector. Because think about this, I am a generator. I want to generate, 1,000 megawatts today. I should be able to go and negotiate my gas agreement from whatever supplier that I want. We will agree on a price. I should negotiate the transport of that gas along whatever pipeline route gets to my plant, pay a toll, whatever that price comes out to be, and I will be able to sell my power at a cost-reflective tariff to whatever network is able to take my power, whether it's ECO, Ikeja, EDC, whoever. And then those people within their network, you should have power traders that can take the power at different prices and sell to off-takers. This is the only way to solve this power problem in Nigeria. Otherwise, everything we're doing is still going to be throwing good money after bad. And then we need to have a place where people can actually do business. If I try to get a generating license today, it takes a lot of time. It takes money. We have personally, my company, spent millions of dollars, not fake money, real money, negotiating PPAs with NBET. Those PPAs are not worth the paper that is printed on. We spend time getting generation license. A generation license is scrap of paper. It's not really worth the paper that is printed on. So we're continuously throwing good money after bad. Now, we've privatized the power industry in Nigeria. But guess what? The government is turning around and building more power plants. What are we really doing? This is a never-ending loop. Now we're talking about a bill that allows states to generate power, transmit, and distribute. That's great. However, the state governments don't need to be doing that. All we need the government to do is have real regulations that guide how power companies work to protect the environment, make sure we're doing things ethically, and then step out of the way. Let the private companies do what they know how to do best. Run the power industry and make money, because remember, nobody is in business for their good health. They're in business to make money. The same thing occurs in every part of the world.
Right.
It's as simple as that. We've done this in the telecoms industry. Why can't we do the same thing in power industry?
Absolutely, and that's a good place to leave it. Chukwe Loka Ume, thank you so much. As the Group Chief Operating Officer, Nest Oil.